Welcome back to All Things ETH. My name is Aaron, and on this channel we talk about all things Ethereum. We talk about projects, NFTs, play to earn, and price. And today, guys, I'm keeping up with my theme of going through all of the Axie Infinity cards by class. And today we are going to talk about birds. So let's jump into it, guys. I've got axie.tech lined up here, their card explorer. If you go to tools up on the top here and then hit the class, and then I'm going to start with the back. I'm going to go through back, horn, mouth, and tail before the end of this video, guys, so that you understand what the cards are, how they work, and so you can just be more informed, especially those of you who are wanting to be a scholar, guys, and haven't been able to play yet. This is for you. I just want to talk about them and my experience with them. So let's start with the back cards. On the A tier, we have two zero cost cards. One is Balloon Pop, and one of my scholars does have this actually on a Aqua, to be honest, and he's got this to add fear to his opponent, and this, I believe he's got the Aqua in his back lane, and this is and it's a pretty beefy one at that, so he needs a zero cost to be able to do well in the final game, guys, the final rounds of the game, and Balloon Pop is one of those. It does add 40 attack, but applies fear to target for one turn if defending, apply fear to self until next round if defending. So that's a little bit tough on you. It can backfire a little bit, if you will, guys, on the Balloon Pop, so look out for that. Tri-Feather, attack twice if this Axie has any debuffs. So if you're speed minus or attack minus, or you've got some other, we've got Raven puts on Jinx. So if you have this and you've been jinxed or fragile or anything else, guys, a debuff is going to give you a chance to attack twice with this zero cost card, which is pretty cool. Down here is Pigeon Post. Pigeon Post is one of my favorite back cards. It is very strategic. You can play it along with something like the egg drop, or from the horn card, guys. You can either decide to leave the egg on the opposing Axie, or you can bring it to yourself, or you can take the debuff on the Axie target. It transfers it from the target to yourself. So if you play egg drop first, or egg bomb rather first, you can add the aroma to the Axie by taking the debuff off of the Axie target. So pretty awesome. 120 attack, 30 shields, pretty solid card, guys. Cupid. This apply morale minus to the enemy, 120 attack as well. As you'll see, a pretty common theme here is that a lot of bird cards are pretty high damage. Now, birds are obviously lower health, so that's why they make up for higher damage. 130 on Kingfisher, guys. The Patient Hunter card, no shield, but 130 damage, and it does target aquatic class enemies. It's a if you're below 50%. Now, every time we hit one of these things, HP is below 50%. Who wants to worry about that, guys? Who wants to worry about it? So, especially since often you play your bird in the back lane, this card is just not going to get used very often as a backdoor. But then we have Raven, Ill Omened. I'm not sure why this is D class, honestly, guys. Maybe because it has the least amount of attack out of all the cards. 110 attack and 30 shield, does apply Jinx for 2 rounds, and Jinx keeps your opposing Axie from critting. It will not let you crit if you have Jinx on you, which I think is actually pretty great, especially if you're playing against a Ronin Imp Beast. But I digress. Let's move on to Horn card, and starting out with Eggshell. Egg Bomb is a huge card. It plays really strategically into the user, guys. So when you have Aroma and you have Pigeon Post, you can add Aroma, apply Aroma to this Axie. So what it does, it adds it to the Axie that you're attacking with. But then you can take Pigeon Post and put the Aroma on the opposing team as well, and that your axes that go after. Since birds are so fast, most of your other axes are going to attack the same axie that's been left with the aroma after. Instead of taking the aroma back to you with the pigeon post, you'll leave it there and get essentially a backdoor to the backdoor, because a lot of times you have little owl on the mouth card of a pigeon post, egg bomb bird. In fact, I'll be giving one of these to one of my scholars. I'm updating one of my scholars right now, and we'll be giving this and all of those other things to him. Now, the only other card that I love personally from a bird in the horn is the headshot, because it disables the horn card of the other player, and it does 130 damage, guys. So 10 more damage, and it disables the target horn. So if you use this with like a Gravelant situation and both kill melee and the horn card of the opposing front or midline axie, or whatever axie that you're attacking in the front lane, it's pretty awesome to be able to completely disable by getting the horn card and any melee cards destroyed, or at least not destroyed, but kept from being used in the next round, which is pretty awesome. Cuckoo is very meta right now. Applying attack plus, adding 30 shield, a 0 cost card. The attack plus is so OP, guys. It's turning axes that aren't great into just OP axes, and it is very meta because it's a 0 cost, and 0 cost in general are being used a lot more in Season 19. Winghorn, skip the closest target if there are 2 or more enemies remaining. It is a backdoor. Now, I don't see a lot of backdoors being so high up on the tier ranking, guys. Most backdoors on other axes are quite a bit lower, but in general, birds tend to be much more strategic to use backdoors. So Winghorn is up there. Now, I would recommend using Little Owl instead of Winghorn as your backdoor card, but if you want to attack the midline rather than the fastest axie, which is typically in your backline, use Winghorn instead. So Trump, what more can I say? If you put if you chain 2 Trump cards together, you get a lot more damage, guys. 120% damage when chained with another Trump card. Very similar to Double Nut in a beast, except for it's chained instead of comboed, and so you have to have 2 axes with Trump, but man, is it pummeling when you have 2 of them in your inventory. And then Feather Spear, deal 120% damage when chained with another lunge card. It's very similar to Trump, just obviously not as much attack and a little bit more shield, which is, it is what it is, guys. You're not going to use a lot of shield on your bird. It's just not something that happens terribly often. So let's move on to the mouth card. Peace Treaty is one of those that works pretty well if you don't want a backdoor. Now, Double Talk and Little Owl are just as amazing. Double Talk ignores the shield of the opposing target. Ignore shield, apply sleep to target. So that's written out kind of funny, but it does ignore the shield and add 60 attack to the bird that you're using it on. Little Owl is my favorite backdoor card, guys. It isn't only 25 attack, but it attacks the fastest enemy. It's the best way to get rid of typical backline birds or backline aquas, or even midline aquas sometimes, so that you can destroy them very quickly and kind of dominate the timing of the game because your fastest go first. And then Hungry Bird, target bug class enemy with this axie, if this axie's HP is below 50%. Not a super meta card, guys. I don't see it terribly often, although you do see more bugs, but again, you have to wait until it's 50% down in health, and that's just not helpful when you often have your bird in the back line. So moving on, and last but not least, we have the tail. Get rid of the mouth here. And Post Fight is one of those cards that is amazing, and I use it pretty often on backdoor birds because it is a 0 cost, guys, but it also does inflict 30% damage to yourself. So 30% of your max HP, so you can only use it 3 times total before you kill yourself in the game. So that is the downside, guys, but it is used pretty often. The other most used tail card is the last one, which is apply attack minus to the axie, 150 damage. It does cost an energy, but man, this is like the most attack heavy card that you can get, and it is brutal when you get hit by it. Now, you know, obviously there are cards out there like that play more into like a beast and get you more damage, guys, but in general, if you're using a backlane bird, the last one is the card to go with in the tail if you got good energy management and don't need post fight with that 0 cost. The fan, Grandma's fan, Cool Breeze, is used fairly often. Apply chill to target, which keeps them from going into last stand, which is cool. Another 120 damage card, pretty standard for a bird. 110 early bird, deal 120% damage if this axie attacks first, which it will attack first a lot of the time. So adding that 20% damage to 110 is pretty awesome. I would recommend that if you find this on an axie that's a little bit cheaper. If you're going budget, guys, that's a good way to start. Puffy Smack rather. It looks like cotton candy, so it looks like a snack. But skip targets that are in last stand. That's just not useful enough, guys, really to do a lot of to see it often. You will see it as a mutation occasionally. Some people see it as a way to get a cheap axie out of, you know, when you've got awesome cards in the horn, in the back, and in the mouth. Sometimes it's okay to go a little bit cheaper in your tail. Maybe go with the Cloud or Puffy Smack, but I don't honestly see it that often. And to be honest, I actually see Feather Fan more often. Add 20% shield to this axie for each debuff it possesses. Not super huge, but if you want to shield your bird, this is the only card that gives you more than 50 shield in the bird class. So with that, guys, I hope you've learned something here. If you'd like to support the channel, buy yourself some Friedrichs Coffee. Go over to friedrichscoffee.com, buy yourself a 12-ounce bag of roasted to order coffee. If you're in the United States, the continental United States, we ship. Using code FREESHIPUSA, you get $5 off to give you free shipping on any retail order, guys. And with that, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be up to date with more Axie Infinity content and Ethereum blockchain content. We are having a 1,000 sub scholarship giveaway, guys. I'm giving away a scholarship at 800 subs, 900 subs, and 2 at 1,000 if we hit 1,000 subs before the end of the year, guys. Let's make that happen, and by subscribing and telling your friends about this channel, guys. We love you out there. We love our scholars. We are so happy to be part of the team, and go over to the Discord and check out just a healthy community over there. Loving Axie Infinity, talking about play to earn in general, and I've done a couple videos on Townstar lately too, so check those out. But if you like crypto and play to earn in particular, you'll love this channel, guys. So subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.